How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name's Garrett, and today I want to talk to you about a set of tools that I believe are useful with stepping your mobile photography and videography game up, and that's thanks in part to my friends over at ShiftCam with their new LensUltra Series. Now, before we get too far into my thoughts on this set, I do want to let you guys know that ShiftCam did reach out to me and offered to send me these lenses out for review. However, they are not paying me to say anything good or bad about this set, so I want to let you guys know my thoughts over using them for the past 2 weeks, who I think they're for and who I think they'll help. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. What exactly is the LensUltra Series? It's an ecosystem of 7 new lenses designed by ShiftCam specifically for phone photography and videography. This set boasts 7 new lenses for your phone, ranging from a 16mm ultra wide angle lens to a 200-degree fisheye, a 60mm telephoto, a 75mm macro, a 10x traditional macro, 2 anamorphic lenses, and 2 filters, a CPL filter and a VND filter. The first key feature is edge-to-edge clarity with your photos. Now, this is going to vary based on the model of phone that you have. I personally use the iPhone 11 Pro. You may have a different model that has better cameras than mine, but this is something that ShiftCam is designing to be universal for phone cameras. Secondly is a higher resolution image. As you guys know, whenever you start digitally zooming in on your phone, typically your photos get fuzzy, your video gets fuzzy. This is because we are cropping into the sensor of the phone, which is already fairly small. So what ShiftCam is solving with their lenses is we are now going to be optically zooming, so we're still getting to use the full resolution of our phone sensor when we're pairing it with the main phone camera. The final key feature with this set is we have a universal lens mount option, which means this set will work whether you're an iPhone user, an Android user, whether your phone is older or newer. Once again, I'm using the iPhone 11 Pro, which has some age on it now, but ShiftCam was able to send me out a case that would allow me to use this LensUltra set no differently than if I had a brand new iPhone 14. So I want to talk about the LensUltra Series and how it fits into my workflow as a professional photographer and videographer. The lens that I've absolutely fallen in love with from this set and gravitated towards the most is the 16mm ultra wide. One of the most exciting things about this lens is whenever I'm vlogging for the channel here, or whenever I'm shooting behind the scenes photography and videography for our commercial work, I no longer have to have a secondary DSLR on a tripod shooting that. What I've been able to do is now bring my phone, prop this up on a tripod, and I've been able to gather time lapses, I've been able to gather behind the scenes footage, behind the scenes photos without having to have another clunky DSLR body. This is exciting for me because in the past we have had loads of camera gear that we've brought into productions, and it sometimes causes me to not even want to set up a behind the scenes angle because I know that I'm going to have to bring in another body, another tripod. With this, I'm able to set my phone up on a Gorilla Pod or a small tripod and shoot a time lapse of our day, shoot behind the scenes photos of our day. It just makes my on production workflow so much easier. The second lens from this set that I've gravitated towards the most is the 60mm telephoto. This lens has served a different purpose for me over the past couple of weeks. This lens has been my family documentation lens, if you'll call it, where if I'm playing with the kids or they're playing or we're out and about, I'm not having to lug around another DSLR camera. I can pop the 60mm telephoto onto my phone. I get some natural separation between my subject and my background, and I'm able to capture those memories in a way that's not distracting. One of the things that I think the kids gravitate towards is whenever they see daddy whip out a big DSLR camera, they automatically want to run to it. Sometimes that destroys the moment and I don't get to capture it. What I've experienced with this, and only carrying my phone around to capture those moments, is they don't see it as much of a distraction. They don't see it as, oh my gosh, daddy has a camera, let me run up to the camera and block the shot. No, they see my phone, it's less invasive, and they stay in their moment and I'm able to capture it. That's something that's been pretty cool about the 60mm for me, is this has been a great alternative to capturing family moments whenever we're out and about or whenever we're playing here around the house. The third accessory that I have gravitated towards the most from the LensUltra set is the variable ND filter. And I'm going to give a very simple explanation as to why. Think of a variable ND as sunglasses for your lens, and what this allows you to do on the video side is darken your exposure enough to where you can run a 1/48 shutter speed if you're shooting in 24 frames a second to have the most natural motion blur in your video. Now for the everyday user, this may not be an issue. You may not care if you're videoing your kids' soccer games or videoing them playing outside. It's such a mental block for me to shoot without a variable ND because I want everything to look as natural as possible with my motion blur. And I'm gonna flash some examples of what that looks like across the screen if you're not used to that sort of verbiage. These lenses are going to vary from $130 to about $150 for the standard focal lens, and anywhere from $150 to $175 for the anamorphics. When compared to a traditional lens for a DSLR or mirrorless camera, these lenses are very affordable, especially if you've already forked out the dollars for a very nice phone. On the consumer side, I believe this set is a perfect match for a mom or a dad who simply wants to capture moments with their kids. Maybe you're on vacation and you don't feel comfortable bringing a full-size DSLR or mirrorless camera and lugging that around. Maybe you don't have one. I believe this set complements your phone very well if you are that type of person. The second person that I believe this set is for is the individual that is curious about stepping up their photography game, but they don't have the extra fund to buy a full-size camera. Mirrorless cameras nowadays range anywhere from $1,000 to $3,500. So if you've already spent the money on a phone, it's probably not advantageous for your budget to buy a separate camera. For a couple of $100 extra, you can have a lens coupled with your phone that will allow you to experience a natural looking shallow depth of field, subject separation from your background, more clarity than what your stock phone cameras may have. And the third person that I believe this set is for is the professional who is tired of wagging around so much extra gear. This set has sped up my workflow for the behind the scenes footage and photos that I want to gather. I no longer have to set up another DSLR body. I can set my phone on a tripod and we're ready to shoot. It gives us more time. It actually encourages me to shoot that behind the scenes footage that we so desperately need from productions. And overall, it's a less invasive experience because it's just a phone sitting on the table. Nobody cares about that. Wrapping things up, at the time that you're seeing this video, ShiftCam now have made their Kickstarter campaign live for the LensUltra Series. What I want you to do is go to that Kickstarter campaign, check out the lenses for yourself, because I believe these lenses are very advantageous for folks looking to step up their mobile photography and mobile videography game. One quick note that I want to make, I know that I didn't mention the anamorphic lenses in this video a lot. That is because I have the pre-production models and I'm going to save my review for the anamorphics for another video once we get the final iterations out. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited about the anamorphics. I have a fun video planned for that. As always, if you like this video, want to see more like it in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I love growing this community here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one and we'll see you in the next.